Okay, Assalamu alaikum and welcome to our final part of functions. Here today we are going to talk about functions in its second part. So today we are talking about passing arguments by value. So as you recall, we said that we have an integer a over here, integer b over here. We have one return value to our function, and it does not matter how we give names as long as they are in sequence. So x and y will be passed as a and b. We pass them by value. We pass them by value. We don't care about the names. We pass these arguments by value. So the pass by value is the default in C++. We basically copy the values. We do not change the original values. We copy these values. We do not change the original values of them. So if you see here, integer n is equal to 10, foo n return 0, and in foo we are going to and in foo we are going to n plus plus return 0. So this will have no effect on the value of n because n will be passed by value. Now this is the same program. Passing by reference, meaning that we not only pass the value, we pass the whole variable. So if it changes inside the function, it will change within the main function. So if we want to pass an argument or an argument by reference, we need to add this symbol before that reference. So if you see here, integer compute double R, this is passed by value, this is passed by reference, and this is passed by reference. So if the value of a changes in the function, it will change in the main function. And this is one way to have a function with more than one output. So this is how we return multiple values from a function. So for example, here we have a void function that will calculate the sine and cosine. You see this function will return a void, so it returns nothing. It will have take an input which is double degrees, then it will return sine out and cosine out. Of course CMAT is over here because sine and cosine. So we get sine cosine, 30 degrees sine and cosine, and you can see over here we defined these two variables. We call them sine and cosine. The sine will be passed by reference, the cosine passed by reference, and as you can see, when they change within our function, okay, when they change within our function, we get our result as you can see over here. We get our result as you can see over here, which is sine out and cosine out. Sine out and cosine out. So if the value changes here, it will immediately change over here. Again, names are not important, but mainly the coordination of how the values are done. Now this is another example where we want to swap the contents of glass X and glass Y. So we need a temporary glass, and this example is explained over here. Again, more examples on passing by reference. Okay, this is an example where we want to see what is the outputs of the functions. Function overloading. Let's say many functions may have the same name. We have max, but this function has inputs as integer and integer. We have max, which is function of double and double. We have max, which is integer u, character and character. So in function overloading, it will check the values of a and b, and then it will choose the type of function to be used. And of course, the return value will be ignored. Functions and arrays are of the same consideration, but we need to pass the arrays are always passed by reference, we need to pass the size of the array with the array itself. Remember, arrays are passed by reference, and we pass them by the values as we can see over here. So basically, this is an idea of what we are going to take in week number 13 with more examples. More elaboration will be done within the discussion itself. Thank you for watching.